we decided to do something a little different with our sort of press release. We own .live amongst several other domain names, and .live being such a great fit for the live streaming community. As it turns 3 months old today, we wanted to do a live stream to promote that and tell people about it. So wanted to invite some of the early adopters into the Blab and kind of get their take, and we'll kick it off. So I am Marc Gawith. I am in business development for RightSide. I've met these two wonderful gentlemen at Summit Live, and want to continue obviously going down this path and being part of the live streaming community. So welcome to you two, and I'll let you introduce yourself. Ryan, you want to go first?
Sure, I'll go first. I am Ryan Bell, founder of Summit.live. We actually changed our name to a .live because of the fact that it just fit better in our landscape and was able to be kind of an all-encompassing thing for live streaming. Personally, I also have the domain Ryan.live, which I think is awesome because you can tell I'm pretty damn live. And I'm excited for this conversation because it's a conversation about vernacular. It's a conversation about realty. It's a conversation about how to use tools in communication. And I'm excited to be on here. And I don't even think we need Brian Fanza. Brian Fanza, whatever, he'll come on. But I'm excited to be with you and Mitch. So Mitch, as we were talking before we started the show, has been my friend via live streaming and in real life because of live streaming for a long time. So I'm real happy. So Mitch, take over, do your intro, and do your thing.
Well, right back at you, Ryan. And Marc, thanks for having us on the show. It's great meeting you up in San Francisco, Marc. My pleasure. You know, as Ryan said, it's about being live. And one of the reasons that I'm embracing live streaming, one of the reasons that I think we've all connected, and as a lawyer jumping on these platforms, is it allows me to show the human side of what I do. And I'm a little disappointed that we don't have more professionals on the live streaming platforms. It's a great way to connect. It's a great way to show that we have belly buttons just like everybody else, and I think that's important. So Marc, with the .live extension, as you well know, we've jumped all in. As Ryan, I've got Mitch Jackson .live, and it points right now to my Periscope profile page. And we've got some other things going on. So it's great to be on the show, and I'm a big proponent of being unique. And one way of being unique is adopting some of the new extensions that, Marc, your company makes available to all of us.
But we've written down a couple of questions here and wanted to kick it off with, I guess, the first one here. How did you hear about .live specifically, and what was your first impression of the domain .live?
Go ahead, Ryan.
I'll take that first. So I'm a domain whore. Like I own way too many domains. My wife says I have a problem. I'm always on the lookout for domains. So I found the .live thing because I didn't like .tv. I thought .tv was old because I think cable TV is old. I'm not being paid to be on this. I want to be on this because I love domains, because it's a part of the vernacular. It's a part of the conversation. I think of domain names as realty, as real estate.
You know, I think in a attention deficit type of world where it's really hard to capture and grab somebody's attention right off the bat, there's nothing like a domain that shows the world what you do. As soon as I saw .lawyer, and Marc, I don't know where I first saw that domain. It might have been on GoDaddy, I don't know. But the first time I saw it, I jumped on it, mitchjackson.lawyer. And, you know, it's interesting how the consumers they're accepting the different .com, .live extensions now.
Yep.
Okay, I think one time people were a little leery on clicking on a link that wasn't .com. I don't think that's the case anymore. I think with public awareness, it actually, I think, is actually something that favorably reflects upon a business or upon a venture, unlike maybe 5 years ago.
You know, so we have a question here from $1 Million Bill. Really good one. and I think you kind of just touched on it briefly there, Mitch, but do you see more non.coms gain popularity like .vegas and .live? And, I think for me personally, the answer is yes. And I think we will continue to see that, with the likes of Google and Apple and others starting to use new domain names and put them out there in the wild. I think you're going to start to see a mass adoption over the next 12 months. I think 2016 will be a really big year for this community and in this space.
As a creative person, you think about the constrictions that you have with .com, because you have to, like so many of those names are taken. And if you have a new domain, like I want to do a news show, and if I can do news11.live, then the dot is already part of the story. We want to do fun things, but .io was really popular last year, and I had friends that were like trying to buy EIEI.io, EIEIO. I thought that was pretty. But being clever, like that's what we want to do. Because that's the way that you get the grabs. You get people to listen to your story.
I think that's wonderful. People are starting to get the fact that these kind of going back to what Ryan was talking about, his friend trying to get EIEI.io. People are making phrases out of these. It's not just a domain name with a .com extension anymore. It's now a slogan. It's a marketing slogan. It's an advertising slogan. Mitch with human.social and Guy Kawasaki with art of .social. Now it's becoming this thing that we can read from left to right, as opposed to, this is my company name and then this is my website address. It's all sort of working together, as kind of a synergistic approach, putting yourself out there.
Well, Mark, I had Guy and Peg on my show, and they both commented one reason that I became kind of the center of a target where I got their attention was because of human.social, for the reasons, that's one reason they were on my show.
Yeah.
And they mentioned that on the air. So there's power to having a domain, a unique domain that's relevant to what you're doing. And can we talk about that for a second? The right of the dot. We talked about, I was telling a lawyer the other day about this upcoming show, and I said something like, if you want people to talk, get the right domain on the right of the dot. And I hadn't heard anybody else mention it that way, Mark. So you're talking the left side of the dot and the right side of the dot.
So it's not just about having the domain, but it's about what your intent is to do with it in that sandbox once you own it. And even the domain itself gives you the ideas to do something with it when you have it.
And what's really cool about these new right side of the dot domains is it allows many of us to continue branding ourselves in the way that we wanted to 15 or 20 years ago, because there's new domains available that complement what we do.